I can think of a couple of things that can happen during that action.
Can you show us?
I think I do. So, one thing that happens, let me create an example here with a couple of, an ace king of hearts at the bottom, right? So, at this moment over here, I'm supposed to cut the deck, right? I talked about earlier that there are a bunch of techniques you can use to cheat while dealing the cards, right? There's the second deal, there's the bottom deal. I gave a sloppy demonstration of a Greek deal, which is actually dealing the second card from the bottom here. And there's also the infamous center deal, like when you actually deal a card directly from the center of the deck. So I have ace king here at the bottom. I'm going to use one hand to cut the deck right here. I do that. Can you guys see that? The little card just like that. If I pick it up.
To me, that looks normal. I see dealers do that all the time.
Yeah, this is very dangerous. This is absolutely freaking dangerous because with this card, this is actually called an in jog. This is the terminology in magic industry. I can actually press it down like this, then push it in, and then acquire a little space with my pinky like that, which is called a break, right? Do you guys remember when I cut the deck, that ace and king went straight into the center? But that position that I'm marking right now, look, the ace and the king are right there, right? And if I'm actually skilled enough, I can try to deal those cards directly from the center. I don't think I'll be able to do that. I'm going to try just like this. Yeah, I think I lost the other card, but anyways, the king that was at the very bottom of the deck before I cut the deck is right here. If I actually was to deal the cards to myself, right? But I could do this card to any player. So when you cut the cards and you don't square them up, you could do that, right? You just cut like this, and you use index finger over here to just put a card.
Oh, so you're intentionally putting it out.
And then there's a marking over here. I can create a break over there and maybe deal a card from that position. If there's no surveillance and there are no cut cards, say for example we're in the worst underground game ever, there's a thing called the pass, which is a way of invisibly cutting the deck. So let me try to do an example over here. Let me grab a card that's more appealing. Say for example the king of spades over here. So I won't use cut cards. I'll just cut. I'll do that same thing, marking the position where the king was. Did you see any?
The average person saw nothing. The average person.
Yeah,
the king is back on the bottom. It was in the center, but it's now back on the bottom. And now I can basically bottom deal it to myself, just like that.
From my perspective, working in casinos, I did see you cover the top of the deck, and I would say, as a supervisor, shift manager, director, whatever it is, when you see somebody covering the top of the deck, most of the time you don't want to go bother them. It's like you don't want to be a pain in the butt, right? So if I had no idea that you were able to do this type of stuff, and you managed to get yourself a job in a casino, I am one of the only people I know that does bother everybody. Okay, I know the feeling of not.
You do it in a good way.
Well, so you worked me. I super appreciate that for sure. I try to think that as well, and I bug people because I just want my room to be run the way that it's supposed to be run all the time. But there's a lot of people that would ignore that. That are supervisors. Yeah. So. But also I want to mention the cards coming out a little bit. So normally when you see a card or two coming out, because I made the comment, which is true, when the cut happens, a lot of the time you sometimes see that, just like Joey said, the dealer just goes like this with it a lot of the time. And so I think what you're saying is you do that same thing where you square it up too, but you do it and you create the little break in there so you can tell what's going on. And that's sort of mind blowing, not going to lie. And at the same time, you know, I appreciate you saying that you don't think that you could fool surveillance in most circumstances, because I'm starting to sweat a little bit over here is what I'll say.